Alright, so oil change round 2 on the 14, and I've got a little bit of a trick up my sleeve this time around that I'm going to try. But first, let's get this oil draining. And just for clarification, I would try going in through the top, but for the fact I do have this AFE intake on there, which has the one-piece tube deal. Well, I think it's technically a two-piece. There's still one little bit of factory hose down at the bottom, but it also has the sensors plugged into it, which I don't really want to mess with, again, any more than I have to. And also, I think it's just because of the height of these trucks, maybe the height of the fender, but the oil filter is like way the hell down in there, so it's almost not really a whole lot easier to go from the top, or at least from my second or first gen. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure someone else's opinion is gonna differ from that, but once again, my idea. So the trick that I mentioned earlier, and the thing that I've been gesturing with here for a second, is this little guy, which I picked up on Gianna's Garage for approximately $27, I think it was, not including shipping. But I had a bunch of other stuff, so it sort of all rolled into one. Kind of ridiculous that I'm having to buy a tool for the oil filter. Once again, if you did have a factory air filter set up, I would suggest going in from the tops. Not as easy as second gen, in my opinion, but whatever. So I did buy this little guy, which threads onto the oil filter once you drop it off, and it goes into this little void down below. Thread this thing onto the top, use the eye hook to pull it out the hole. Same with new filter. I try to pre-fill my new filters. Just the thing I do. Not saying you have to do it. Not saying that not pre-filling them is wrong, or that pre-filling them is the only way there is. Just something I do. Pre-fill the filter, put this thing back on, back in, take it off, thread the new filter up in, done. In theory anyway. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Alright, so that's about as tight as I can reasonably get it. Let's see if it spills and makes a mess. A little bit. Not too bad. Once this thing gets covered in oil from it leaking that little bit, once you loosen the thing up, it's a little bit hard to get a grip on. In case anyone's wondering, filter and oil I'm using today. Alright, so pulling the old filter out was mostly successful, very minimal spillage. Once again, first time I've tried using this tool, so I'm not gonna be perfect at it, or don't expect myself to be perfect at it. But we're gonna try re-entry here. I don't know, I'm sure someone's gonna give me shit about paying money for this thing, but whatever. I think in my opinion it'll pay for itself, and just an aggravation, or less aggravation, over time, since I plan on keeping this truck for quite a while. So that guy's on there. If we can get this thing back in, that'd be just dandy. There, she's in the hole. This might be where things get a bit funky. Just realizing I put that on fairly tight. I don't get two hands in there to unscrew the thing. See where I'm going with this? downfall of the product. Let's see if I can wedge that up against something. Nope, damn it. Alright. Well, learning experience for us all here. Oh, come on. It'd be real fucking nice. I know, I shouldn't swear. YouTube guidelines and all. But it'd be really fucking nice if they'd give you a bigger opening than this. I mean, honestly. If they had just moved this hose over, like, even like one hose width, it'd been so much better. Or just be able to get at it from some other way. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, nor do I claim to be one. But I do know it could have been better than this. Yes, I could go in from the top, but even that, like I'd mentioned earlier, the height of the fender on these trucks, you need a damn 3-step ladder, and then you're elbow deep in the thing, because by the time you get to the filter down here, which is like, I don't know, about 2 feet below the top of the fender up there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a schmo making a video of me trying to stuff an oil filter into a tiny ass hole. Rawr. There. And hopefully I'll loosen that up enough to where I can get it off. Yes. You stay upright. There's that. I already pre-lubed the O-ring, so that's done. Now all I gotta do is get this thing up there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to say that's on. Pop the drain plug back in, fill up with new oil, check for leaks, and we should be good to go.